There's one thing I've been saying for a while on this channel in terms of rumors, in terms of speculation, is that Games Workshop is eventually going to phase out their resin products. And in a recent article, they've more or less come out and stated that now. And I think this is the beginning of the end for resin. And in this video, I just want to explore that a little bit more. I want to explore some of the rumors I've heard, not only about resin products, but about some potential big stuff that could be going to plastic from resin, and also some other little things that we've discussed about in the past, like Custodes potential box sets, plastic Custodes going from resin, all that kind of jazz. So let's jump in and let's get waffling. Since this video will contain some rumors, I just want to say, as I normally say during my rumor videos, take all rumors as lies. Rumors are not facts. Take them for what they are. Rumors, hearsay. It's only confirmed when Games Workshop actually show it off during reveal streams or over on their social media feeds. Now, just before we jump into the article itself and actually look at the quote from Games Workshop, I just want to talk about the rumor that I heard and the kind of feedback on that, not only from me, but from other people who I've mentioned this to in the past. And that is that Games Workshop wants to move away from resin products. They want to technically get rid of resin and have everything in their catalog as plastic. Now, that sounds absolutely fantastic on paper. I've always said I prefer working with plastic than resin. Not a lot of people agree with that statement, but that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. But there's another argument to that, and that is, if you look at the Games Workshop catalog, they have some big products that are currently in resin. You have tanks like the Mastodon, you have Titan, Warlord Titans, Warhound, Reavers, all that type of stuff. Thunderhawks, currently, they're all in resin. Now, again, there's been a lot of rumors around certain stuff like a plastic Warhound Titan, which I've been hearing for years now. The big rumor I've heard about that is that they're currently working on the tooling to make sure they can actually do it and bring it out there and it be cost effective. That's where the rumor is at the moment with the Warhound. I wouldn't be surprised if it's probably going ahead at this moment in time inside Games Workshop. But yes, I understand the argument when we talk about everything going plastic. You have to look at these bigger models like the Warlord Titans, like the Reavers, like the Warhound, like the Thunderhawks that are currently resin. If Games Workshop are going to go fully plastic, then surely they have to then put these big models into that plastic format, because the last thing we want is to lose these type of models just because Games Workshop don't want to make them plastic. And if we jump over to this article that they posted the other day, this is a statement that I'm on about, and I think now this is the first hint on Games Workshop, basically new move from resin to plastic. You can argue that, of course, they've been doing this for a number of years, but of course, this is going to be a long process. This is not going to work overnight. If they do move from resin to plastic, which I think they are doing right now, this is going to take, what, another 5, maybe 10 years to fully get that catalog in plastic because of just how many models they currently have as resin. You've got like resin Primarchs, resin characters and stuff. We are seeing it a little bit now. Like, as the statement states, which I've highlighted, it says, Horrors Heresy fans can look forward to a substantial schedule of releases, accelerating the move from resin to flexible new plastic kits and adding new miniatures. And we can see some of the new miniatures now. Breacher Squads, Jump Assault Marines for Mark II. The big one is the Fellblade to me. The Fellblade kit is a massive kit. It's literally like a Baneblade size kit. So to bring that over to the plastic gives me positive vibes that Games Workshop are taking this seriously now, and we are going to start seeing some big stuff now shifting towards the plastic market rather than that resin market. And I know I've spoken about this before, but I really do think the first big thing we're going to see going mostly plastic in the Horrors Heresy is going to be the Legio Custodes. This statement here says the Talons of the Emperor, perhaps the most notable absence from the launch lineup are the Talons of the Emperor. Fans of the Auramite-clad champions of humanity need not worry, as there will be a free digital PDF rules pack provided at launch, allowing you to play with your Legio Custodes and Sisters of Silence forces until the further Liber arrives. Now, there is going to be a brand new book, and I think this is linked with a rumor that I want to talk about as well. I'm just going to put this image in the background because we will talk about this in a second. Now, what I've been hearing is that there is going to be a Custodes box set, a fully plastic Custodes box set that features the Custodes fighting in the webway. The webway is where the Custodes normally were during the Horus Heresy. It was a secret war, them holding back the tides upon tides of demons. If you've read the book, you know, the Emperor of Mankind, the Emperor went in there was a massive, awesome fight, but that is where the Custodes were normally fighting. That's why you didn't see that many of them out during the siege or out there, you know, fighting with the legions that were trying to hold back the forces of the War Master. So to have a box set potentially like this, we could get some pretty big things, maybe like plastic Custode tanks now, like Telemon dreadnoughts, all the rest of the dreadnoughts, the Terminators that they have in the Horus Heresy, these key units that a lot of people love. I think this potentially could be a part of this plastic box set, if the rumor does turn out to be true, of course, and then we get a bunch of new plastic stuff for the Custodes, and eventually that range could be then plastic. There's a lot of talk, of course, about this spear and what that's going to be. Of course, it says it will be a few months yet, but remember, you've already seen the tip of the spear. And I think what they're referring to with the tip of the spear is that new plastic range refresh for the Custodes. Technically, it's a 40k army as well, because you can use some of the Custode stuff in both 30k and 40k. Not all of it, but some of it. So for me, as a Custode fan, I'm looking forward to this now, thinking potentially this could be an absolute massive kit now for the Custodes, not only for 30k and 40k. In terms of what this model is, we've been joking about this, we've been saying about this on my stream. Potentially, this could be literally the first female Custode model. I know some people will dislike that, but I think that is what Games Workshop are going to put out with this spear. I'm excited to see where they go with this, because again, potentially we could get stuff like plastic Warhounds, plastic Thunderhawks, maybe Stormbird, they'll bring that back, Warlords. If you look at like just the character range that's currently in the resin products, potentially this could mean brand new Primarch models being redone in plastic, because most of the Primarch models were hand sculpted, so they only have the hand sculpted mold to that, and they got to go back to the table and start doing digital designs then of the Primarchs for the Horus Heresy, and we get new versions of the Primarchs. That's another rumor I've been hearing for a while now, that they are going to start putting out different versions of Primarch models for the Horus Heresy. For example, Siege Dawn during the Siege of Terror, shield, sword, looking all like warrior-esque, just, you know, beating down Fulgrim. Wait, that looked wrong, but you know what I mean, right? Him and Sigismund back to back taking on the Emperor's children, the Saturnine Gambit, all that cool stuff that we read from the books. Potentially these are the cool models that we could be getting. I look forward to the future of seeing the resin range go to plastic. I'm sure not everyone agrees with me with this, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope we get some awesome new models. The kits are better to put together, they're easy to put together, and all around it's just more enjoyment for our hobby. Anyway, that's enough waffling from me. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, I'd love to hear it. Do you like resin? Do you want resin to go away? Would you prefer everything in the catalogue to be plastic? Or do you prefer where it has some plastic and has some resin? Let me know down below. Really, I really want to hear it. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching where you're around the world. And have a great night. See ya and bye-bye.